Hi, everybody. Testing. Can you hear me? It's always weird just talking to the green dot, but if anybody could put in the chat how the sound is, that would be great. Good. Thank you, Laurie. Thanks, Abby. Thanks, Nick. Great. So I normally bring a camera with me, but today I was not able to retrieve it. Just the part of working, sharing your workspace with your partner in the times of a pandemic. So my husband was using my yoga space in which the camera was residing. And so I'm just using my laptop today. So there will be a little like up and down with the camera as we get going here. All right. All right, so as we get started here, I just first want to let everybody know that we are, if you aren't aware of this already, we're going to do Yoga Nidra today. And that means toward the latter half of the practice, you're going to be lying down, and I want you to be super comfortable when you do it. So I actually went ahead and set up a space so you could see back here. So at this moment in time is the moment where I want you to just kind of run around the house and gather up 3 blankets, definitely a pillow. So, I just have a throw pillow here from the office, but you can use a bed pillow or throw pillow, couple of blankets. If you happen to have a bolster at home, which you can see as that purple kind of rectangular thing, if you have a bolster, great. If you don't have a bolster, you don't have to have one by any means. You might, you could get some pillows to put under the knees or even rolled up blankets to go under the knees. But the main thing is that you have a pillow and at least 2 blankets. And then also something you can throw over your eyes, like a scarf or a towel, something lightweight that you can put over your eyes as well. All right, so I'm going to give you a minute to gather those things and then we will commence. A mat will also be helpful for some of the work we'll do beforehand. Alina. I am really excited about this class. Many of you I've see on this Friday class, but especially today, there are a few people that either I haven't seen in a really long time, like Marge, hi, so wonderful to know that you're there, and Olga, some people from the studio here in this space that definitely haven't seen in quite some time. Part of this yoga community here at Heartland, Nancy as well. And who else did I see on here from the studio that I want? Jennifer, hi Jennifer. And then also my aunt Jane is here, and it's like the most moving thing. I've been so excited all day. This is the first time. It's so weird because in this format, we don't get to see each other or whatnot, but we can chat a little bit via the chat box. But it's really cool that my Aunt Jane is with us today, and also a cousin of mine, Sally. So 2 family members that I've never gotten to experience this with are here. So thank you. So happy to have y'all here. Okay, so our plan today, or my plan today, is to guide you through a little bit of movement, some simple movement, and then we'll move toward a breath practice, and then we'll go into the Yoga Nidra practice. And the whole theme for today is integration. And when we think about integration from the yogic concept, it's here to support us mostly in a form of assimilation, right? So that I can take life experiences, or even the lunch I had this afternoon, and I'm able to assimilate what I need from the life experience. I'm able to assimilate what nutrients I need from the meal I ate, and then churn it into whatever I need. So the life experience, the idea is hopefully that once I have that life experience or event or something unfolds, I am able to integrate it and then convert it into wisdom or convert it into action. And then obviously with our digestion, we want to be able to assimilate the foods we eat, the nutrients we're receiving, to move it into supporting us through our day-to-day, right? So an opportunity in whatever form of integration that I can assimilate mentally, I can assimilate physically, I can assimilate energetically, I can assimilate spiritually, so that any experience is able to be integrated into my whole being, and then I can utilize it for whatever I want to utilize it for, right? To be more empowered or to live better, or to be more at ease. And where we are right now, coming toward the end of this year, and then just in particular today, there are so many things we're all integrating, right? This has been quite a year. We're at the end of the election cycle. We are at the end of the week. We are actually also at the end of a lunar cycle. There are lots of pieces that are coming together for us right now that are opportunities for integration, or where we are for a need for assimilation, right? Because so much has been moving and swirling, and even the time of day it is, right? It's an opportunity to assimilate our day as we move from, depending on where you are, but I think most of you are with me here in the Northern Hemisphere, right? My Alaska friend, it's quite earlier for you. So we'll help you assimilate your lunch, but the rest of us kind of assimilating the day, right? So we have all these opportunities for integration. So that's what we'll focus on through our movement, with some gentle drawing inward, some focus in the belly, and then some breath work that is also balancing and assimilative as well. And I'm grateful you're all here, and I hope you enjoy the practice. There isn't really a way for us to have a lot of Q&A, but at the end, if anyone wants to ask a question or stick around to chat that way, you can, or you can always reach out to me. Otherwise, I do teach at Heartland Yoga on Mondays at noon Central Time, which is offered via this format as well. And I will be offering a Yoga Nidra little mini immersion, kind of carrying us through the month of December. If you're new to Yoga Nidra and want to explore that, let me know, and I can give you any more information you want. Yoga Nidra is such a gift, and I'm always excited for an opportunity to share it. Okay, so we are going to start seated. I'm sitting in a chair, partly because I'm on the computer screen, but partly because lately it's what feels best for my knee too. So a chair is great. You can grab a chair, you can grab some cushions, something that is going to allow you to sit for a few more minutes in stillness with support. So I recommend elevating the hips on something, on a chair, or grabbing some pillows or bolsters, or even, whatever you can that will allow you to sit comfortably here for a few more minutes as we focus on breath. And if you are in a chair, the feet should be flat on the earth, unless you're able to come up into the chair, like in a cross-legged seat. So let's allow the hands to settle into your lap. And the eyes to softly close. And if you're not in the mood or feeling like you want to close the eyes at this point in time, that's fine. You can allow the gaze to settle at one spot. Soft gaze. And in your own way, allow some assimilation of everything I just said to settle in you. As you receive my little talk, my introduction, let it become meaningful for you in its own way, so that your practice in this next hour or so can support you and your needs and where you are in this moment in time. Allow the hands to soften, the elbows to drape down away from the shoulders. Become aware of the little muscles around your eyes, lips, allowing the face to soften. And the little muscles and larger muscles of the jaw. Here in this moment, allowing a little space to emerge between the two rows of teeth. Noticing how it feels to be in the body in this moment in time. We can spend a lot of time projecting forward or even reflecting back. And in this practice today, as we focus on assimilation, really acknowledge where we are now, a little bit of where we have come from. But most importantly, when we notice ourselves drifting forward, ahead in time, call yourself back into the present moment via sensation and the breath. The body and the breath are here and now. Turning the attention to the breath. Lengthen the breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. If you notice that you've started to slump, perhaps allow the breath to support you in elongating the spine, creating a little more length through the torso. And we'll work with the breath here in a specific way to support our theme of integration so that we can bring a little more awareness into the space of the navel. The navel center and the abdomen is really our seat of integration in the yoga tradition. So as you inhale, sense the breath travel down through the nostrils to the chest and move all the way down into the belly. Belly can soften. And then as you exhale, sense a rising up from the pelvic floor through the low belly toward the solar plexus, just above the navel center. The inhale pulls down all the way, maybe even into the pelvis or low back and abdomen. And then the exhale, there is a sort of drawing up of your awareness You might even feel the pelvic floor lift a bit as though you guide breath back up into that space right around and above the navel center. Keep going with this for another minute or so, breathing in and out through the nostrils, elongating the breath, letting the breath soften into the belly on the inhale with that descent of awareness, and then ascent of awareness, that slight lift in the pelvic floor as you exhale, as those two forces begin to merge in the space of the belly, sort of overlapping, of drawing down and then up, and then the exhale and inhale, and the energy that rides on your inhale and exhale begins to merge at the space of the navel. Three more breaths like this, slowing down, deepening the breath, and allowing the breath to descend into the belly on inhale and ascend from the root on the exhale. Notice if you begin to work too hard or move into striving, soften back, trust the body knows how to breathe. Try not to work too hard. And after your next breath or so, you can let go of shaping the breath. Remembering how the practice is here to support you and your own individual journey today, your own individual integration and assimilation, however that resonates for you right now. There is no right or wrong. And allow your head to bow toward the heart space. Breathe in and breathe out. And then as you're ready, you can slowly open the eyes. Okay, so if you're not on your mat, go ahead and transition. We're going to meet lying on the back. Once you're on your back, we'll stretch the legs long on the earth and let the arms come down by the side. So once you're on your back, come back to the mode of breath we were implementing in our seated position. So you're inhaling through the nostrils, watching breath descend down toward the belly, down toward the pelvis, and exhale, sense that gentle lift in the pelvic floor as your awareness ascends from the root to the solar plexus, really that space between the navel and the heart. So descending on inhale, ascending on exhale, and as best you can throughout our practice, and I'll keep reminding you, this will be the breath we'll utilize while we're moving and while we're working in the physical practice before we transition to Yoga Nidra. Moving in opposition here, as you inhale, sweep the right arm overhead, activate the left leg, it stays on the earth. You simply engage the quadricep, press the heel away from you. Exhale, relax the leg and lower the arm down. Other side, left arm reaches up and over as you engage right leg, press the heel away from you, knee and toes point up, and exhale, lower the arm down and relax the leg. Continue with your breath. So you engage the opposite leg as you reach the arm overhead. Watching the breath descend and ascend if you can. One more time each side. Once the left arm lowers next time, 3 rounds, both arms, both legs. Activate the legs, sweep both arms overhead. You can gaze softly toward the sky or close the eyes. Exhale, relax the legs, lower arms down. Coordinate the movement with your breath. The next time you exhale, draw the legs all the way in so your hands come to your thighs or shins as you pull in. Rock a little side to side. Good, now hold on to the right leg. Let the left leg extend back along the mat. Exhale here, draw the right thigh in. Inhale, stretch right leg long, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, draw the left thigh in. Inhale, stretch left leg long, sweep arms overhead. Exhale, pull in. Keep going on your own, moving in opposition. Both arms sweep overhead. As you exhale, draw the knee or thigh in. So this compression of the abdominal center helps to activate the region of the navel and our own intention of integration, assimilation. Next time left leg draws in, keep it there. Then you can draw the right leg in, again, rocking a little side to side. Arms sweep out to the side. For the next thing we'll do, I'm going to show a couple of options, all right, depending on how much you want to work or maybe even just the stability of your back today. So first option would be to have the feet on the floor. The feet are nice and wide, at least as wide as your mat or a little wider than your pelvis. And we do what we call sort of a windshield wiper twist, letting the feet rock side to side and the knees drop over to one side. If the back feels stable and the core is strong today, you could do something else where you lift shins up, thighs and knees together, and we twist side to side without letting the legs touch the floor. So it's a lot more abdominal engagement and a little more intense for the back, all right? So see which feels better for you. Trust your body, your intuition right now, and do the one that's calling you. As you exhale, you'll drop the legs to one side. If you're lifting the feet, you don't let the legs drop all the way. You go about 2/3 of the way. We all inhale in the center and then exhale to the other side. If the feet are staying on the mat, you allow the thighs to drop as far to one side as the other as they can. As you're going to the right, ideally that right outer thigh comes down to the earth. Exhale as you twist, inhale, center. The head can stay in the middle, or you can turn the head in opposition to the knees, or even in the same direction as the knees. We'll do a few more. Eventually come into the center and pause, either both feet on the floor or hugging the knees in. Let's all bring the feet to the earth, knees bent. Let the hands rest on the belly, eyes closed. Breathe down into the belly and the pelvis on the inhale, and there is that ascent of breath and awareness on exhale. integrating breath. And even if there isn't anything specific that you are calling on to assimilate or integrate, trust that your practice today will lead to more of a feeling of security and stability, so that as you move forward, there is greater clarity from which to draw. And let's roll over onto your side. And then come to all fours. So like a tabletop position, wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Inhale, heart forward, allow the tailbone to lift as you gaze forward. Exhale, round the back, sink your hips all the way to the heels on the way back. Inhale, pull forward, back into table pose, send the heart space through the upper arms. And as you exhale, round the back, soften the elbows this time on the way back so that the forearms hit the earth first. Then keep going. Inhale forward. Exhale, draw in, bringing awareness to the belly, to the navel as you take the hips toward the heels. Slow down the movement to match your breath. Softening the elbows as you descend into child's pose. Take your time. On the exhale, you draw awareness from the pelvic floor up to the navel center with that gentle lifting in and up. One more round. Then inhale, pull forward into table posture. As you exhale next time, tuck the toes, take the hips back and up into downward facing dog. Feel free to bend the knees, especially if there is more tightness in your hamstrings or your glutes or your low back. Bend the knees here so that you can get more extension in the spine. More important to have a straight spine than straight legs in this pose. Drop the weight of the head, soften the jaw, gaze between the feet. And then even here, can you witness the breath moving toward the pelvis on the inhale and then down, it's kind of moving in opposite direction because we're inverted a bit, down toward the heart on exhale. So we're pulling awareness toward the pelvis, belly on inhale, and then as you exhale, that lift of the pelvic floor might come a little more easily here since you're in this position of downward dog. One more breath. Walk your hands back toward the feet, coming toward the back end of your mat, hanging out in a forward fold. Feel free to bend your knees any amount. Clasp opposite elbow if the hands don't easily reach the earth or the ankles, and hang out here. Soften the jaw, drop the weight of the head, shaking the head a little bit, yes and no. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, draw in, fold toward yourself. At the end of the exhale, hold the breath out, one count. Inhale, extend, lengthen the spine. Exhale for 4 counts. Fold forward, hold breath out, 1 or 2 counts in the fold. 2 more times. Inhale, extend. As you exhale and fold in, pull awareness to the navel center, and as you hold the breath out, drop the mind into the belly button. 1 more time. Sweep the hands to the low back, slight bend in the knees. As you're ready, inhale, come all the way up. Relax the arms down as you exhale. If you feel at all lightheaded, tuck the chin a little bit more, bend the knees. If you need to, you can even come into a sort of mini squat, hands to the thighs. Good, standing in Tadasana, take a moment here, eyes closed or open, come back to our integrating breath. Some of you might even start to experience that as you inhale, it's not just confined down to the belly, but the energy riding on your breath goes all the way down through your legs to the soles of the feet. As you exhale, you can draw up from the soles of the feet to the inner leg, pelvic floor, abdomen. Great. Okay, stepping wide on your mat. I'll turn to face you. The feet should be parallel and maybe about 3.5 to 4 feet between your feet, all right? So it's not super wide, but definitely wider than hip distance here. Good, a good stance between the feet. We're going to twist dynamically here with a side stretch. Actually, we won't do the side stretch. We're going to twist with a forward fold. So if it's helpful, if you have blocks, you might put blocks in front of the feet if there's tightness in the hamstrings. Otherwise, you'll just bring your hand to your shin or the outer knee here. If you're able to, otherwise hands come down to the earth. We'll twist to the right first. Deep in breath. Exhale, bend the right knee. Left hand comes down to the floor or the leg as you twist. Inhale, come back up to standing. Now bending the left knee, right hand comes down toward the floor of the leg. Inhale, come back up. Now we fold into the center. Hands can slide down the legs. Draw the chin in. Fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, bend the knees any amount so you can use the strength of the legs and come up with a flat back. Back to the beginning, twisting to the right. Inhale in the center, twisting to the left, bend the left knee. Inhale, center, hands slide down the legs, draw the chin in, fold forward. Inhale, come up with a flat back, lengthen the spine, arms back out into a T. Moving on your own, exhale, twist. Spin the abdomen to the right. Spinning abdomen to the left. Fold in the center. Be sure to keep the back of the neck long as you fold. This helps to quiet the mind and also create a little more length in our neck and our cervical spine that can get so bunched up through our day. Back of the neck stays long. Continue on your own. You might move faster or slower than me. Best to simply move in sync with your own breath. And if you're able to, suspend or once the hand hits the earth or hits the leg, ideally there's just a little exhale left so you can twist a little deeper. So as you're moving into those twist postures, once you come to that full expression of your twist to either side, there's a little exhale left, or you might pause breath for just a count. And in that pause with that little bit of exhale left, you just revolve a smidge more, allowing the chest to open and the abdomen to revolve. Do a few more rounds. The next time you find yourself in the forward fold, stay there. The hands can rest on your calves or your ankles, or you can bring the hands down to the floor or blocks underneath you. Let the weight of the head go. Reclaim your connection to balanced breathing. Emphasizing the drawing in of the belly on the exhale. So the navel pulls in. And if it's available to you, you might pause the breath just for a count or two, nothing too extreme. Pausing the breath at the end of the exhale, letting the mind pull into that space of the abdomen as you suspend breath. We're going to heel toe the feet a little bit closer toward each other so that they're back underneath the pelvis. Walk the hands up to your thighs. Bend the knees, lift the torso up, coming toward a chair pose. Nothing too extreme here, just a way to create a little more grounding and before we come all the way up. So knees and toes pointing in the same direction. Can you return to that integrating breath here? Inhale, descends toward the belly. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts. Steady gaze. And then come all the way up to standing. Okay, fingertips to the shoulders. A couple of things for shoulders and chest. Making circles with the elbows. Breath can be free here. You don't have to coordinate your breath with the movement. And reverse direction. Good, and then relax the arms down. We'll swing arms, alternating every arm swing with the elbow drawing in, right? So the arms drop, elbows draw in. Got really gentle, loose fists with my hands. Knees soft, breath is smooth. You don't have to coordinate with the breath. Just be mindful that you're not holding the breath. Creating some lubrication in the shoulder and elbow joints. Couple more. We'll again separate the feet a little bit, about mat width or maybe just a tad wider. This will be a little gentle twist. I'm going to pivot on the feet, all right? So one ball of the foot shifts as I twist away from that leg. The arms can swing, pendulum, bell style. Knees stay soft. Again, you don't have to coordinate this movement with your breath. Stay mindful that you're not holding the breath. And then we'll begin to keep the head forward, gazing at some spot ahead of you. And the elbows come in by the waist, no longer flopping or swinging. Palms face up or those gentle fists as you twist around the head. Okay, knees stay soft, pivoting on that foot so the hip can follow with you. Good. And letting that rhythmic movement eventually slow down. Coming back toward the balanced standing. Either steady the gaze somewhere on the floor or go ahead and close the eyes. Notice sensation in the body. Here and now. Drop back into one of your integrating breaths, Feeling the breath descend toward the abdomen, pelvis on inhale, and ascend on the exhale. Just a couple more movements and then we'll transition. So we're going to roll down through the spine. Whatever way you can get there, depending on where you are on the mat, you might walk forward with the hands coming into downward dog. You might just come onto hands and knees. We're going to make our way all the way onto the belly. Hands will come by the side chest, elbows draw in. Reconnect to breath. Very little weight in the hands. Inhale, lift the head and chest, lift the right leg and point the toes away from you. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the left leg and the head and chest. Exhale, lower down. Couple more like that. Doesn't really matter how high you lift, especially that leg doesn't need to lift very high here. It's more about lengthening the foot, lengthening the inner leg line away from you. Good. Next time left leg lifts, you can relax. Keep the hands where they are, or you can sweep the hands to the low back. We're going to do a few rounds now where we lift head and then lift legs. So I'm going to inhale, lift the head and chest, and then as I exhale, lower the head and chest down, lift both legs. Inhale, lower the legs, lift the head and chest. Exhale, lower the head and chest, lift the legs. Good, keep going, just this sort of gentle rocking. If you can, draw the legs closer together, bringing thighs to touch, or knees, or even feet to touch. As much of the leg drawing in is helpful. Couple more. Again, it doesn't have to be high. And eventually relax everything down, relax the arms, turn one cheek onto the mat. Close the eyes. Slowly turn the head in the other direction. Good, and then roll over and come onto your back. On your back, cross your right ankle over your left thigh bent, left leg bent, foot on the floor. The arms will come out into a T. Now you're going to drop the whole leg situation over to the left. So the outer left thigh and the outer left foot come down, and maybe even for some of you, the sole of the right foot may come down. Allow the left hand here to rest on the belly. So bend the left elbow, left hand rests on the abdomen. Relax the right arm. Close the eyes. Breathe into the belly. Breathe into the space beneath the left hand. Allowing your breath now to be an integrating force in and of itself. Inhale, moving into exhale. Each breath cycle uniting to create assimilation and integration in all of your tissues and cells. Slowly release the hand, draw the legs back in the middle so that left foot is flat on the floor. And switch. So the right foot comes down, left ankle crosses over. And as you're ready, you'll drop the legs over to the right. Now, outer right thigh comes down. And maybe the left foot or part of the left foot might touch on this side. Mine does not. There's no aim or striving. Just be with the body. That right hand eventually comes to rest on the belly. Allow the eyes to close. Drop into your expansive belly breathing. Allow yourself to be patient with your breath. And then eventually, as you feel balance between the two sides, you can come back toward the center and cross the foot, both feet on the floor. Then we'll close with happy baby. So drawing both legs in, grab a hold of the outer edges of the feet. The knees move toward the outer upper arms as the soles of the feet move toward the sky. Alternately, you could bring the soles of the feet together here, but not dropping the heels down toward the hips. The heels lift away and the toes point in the direction of the top of the head. So either one, happy baby or this variation of, diamond pose or Baddha Konasana. If it feels good to rock, you can rock, or you can stay more static. And release the feet down. Okay. So we'll begin to set up our space for Yoga Nidra. This would be a great time to get some water or even go to the bathroom if you need to use the restroom. I'll show you how I'll set up my space. And then you can kind of do as you will with what you have. So I think most ideally is having a blanket. If you're in a space with carpet, just lying on the carpet can be really nice. Maybe removing your mat and lying on the carpet. I just like having something really soft underneath me. You know, I think we deal with enough discomfort in life. And so this is an opportunity to make yourself really comfortable, you know? So a blanket underneath, a pillow for my head. That's a requirement, right? You gotta have a pillow for your head or something soft since we're all at home. I assume you've got pillows. Something under the knees is up to you. For a long time, I didn't practice with anything under my knees, but now I really like having something under my knees. So if you don't have a bolster, you could stack a couple of pillows. You could roll up a blanket. You could even roll up your yoga mat and wrap it in a blanket to make it a little softer. If you do have something under the knees, I would advise then also putting something smaller or lower under your ankles, right? So it would be kind of the Achilles or the arches of the feet, depending on how high you have, what you have here, supporting you. And then I've got another blanket to cover up with, and then something to go over the eyes. Right, so I'll give you some time to set up. I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then we'll get started. Be discerning in your comfort. Demanding is what I mean, demanding in your comfort. So once you get settled, you want to make any adjustments that aren't feeling quite right. Trust me, if they don't feel quite right now, they won't feel quite right 10 minutes from now or 15 minutes from now. So take the time to shift or go get the extra pillow or the extra blanket or whatever you need here. The socks, that's often one for me, like, I wish I'd put on socks. Go get the socks, go get the thing. That will help you out. So when we practice Yoga Nidra, the hope and the aim is to not fall asleep. However, many of us come to this practice with a lot of fatigue or sleep deprivation or stress, and you lie down and get cozy, and I start talking in a calm and soothing way, and you inevitably fall asleep, all right? And that's fine. But know that in time, as you keep returning to this practice, the intention is to stay aware, for the body to rest deeply, for the mind to rest deeply, and yet for a part of you to remain aware. Allow the body to open to what's supporting you, the blankets, the cushions, the floor, the earth. And remember, for this next 20 minutes or so, there are no problems to solve. There is nothing to figure out. And this practice of Yoga Nidra is a practice of non-doing, of relinquishing effort, remembering how rest or stillness in our lives is always an opportunity for assimilation, digestion, and integration. Set an intention to remain aware for the practice. And allow whatever happens to happen. Let the awareness drift toward the breath. Gently deepening the breath in the way we've been doing throughout our practice. Allow the chest to stay quiet and the abdomen to receive the inhale. And on the exhale, the pelvic floor gently lifts, the abdomen softens to draw in as breath moves up and out. No forcing, no strain. Yet breathe in a way that is full and complete and nourishing. You're breathing with intention, yet mindful that it is not moving into over-striving or strain. Receiving nourishment as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, sense that nourishment spread up and around and through the body. Receive ease, healing, space as you breathe in. And as you exhale, healing, space, and ease are integrated throughout the body. Let go of shaping the breath. Allow the body to settle back into a rhythm of breathing that is natural and effortless. Feel the support of the floor beneath you. Notice if you can soften or allow the body to relax a little bit more. Sense how the earth cradles the body, and the body softens and leans into the earth. Sense how the breath is shifted, the body breathing in its natural state. Effortless, continuous breath. Inhale flows toward exhale, and exhale arises from inhale. Have the intention to smooth out any hesitation in the breath, so that there is one continuous stream. The breath rising and falling, out of and back into spaciousness. Allow the awareness to be compelled, to be pulled toward the transition between breaths, where the inhale meets the exhale and the exhale meets the inhale. And for a moment, become absorbed in the observation of that transition. Be soft, be gentle. And sense awareness in those transitions. Become aware of the continuity, the thread that moves between all phases of breath. That which stays the same amidst all that changes. I am not the breather. I am that which experiences the body breathe. Enter into spacious awareness. Allow awareness to glide toward the space between the eyebrows. Soften. Be aware of this space. Moving into the center of the throat. Relax. Be aware, and perhaps as awareness travels through the body, vibration, presence, or even light may emerge in these points. Awareness in the right shoulder. Right elbow. Right wrist. There's nothing to do. Be in that space with restful awareness. Tip of the right hand thumb. Tip of the index finger. Tip of the middle finger. Effortless awareness in the ring finger. The little finger. Right wrist. Right elbow. Shoulder. Throat. Left shoulder. Presence or light may emerge. Left elbow. Wrist. Tip of the left hand thumb. Tip of the index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Left wrist. Elbow. Shoulder. Center of the throat. Behind the sternum, deep in the chest. Relax. Right chest. Center of the heart space. Left chest. Deep in the heart space. Restful awareness. Be aware of all of those points, spreading through the body and the space between the points. The points like a constellation of presence, awareness, filling the field of the body. You are spacious awareness. The breath flows through the spaciousness of the points like a gentle breeze. Out of this spaciousness, feel the breath in the body. As the body breathes in, the spaciousness of the sky, the stars, the planets draw in down to the belly. As the body breathes out, luminosity spreads through the body, the mind, and all the tissues and cells. As the body naturally breathes in, this wave of vitality, of stars, healing, suns and moons is pulled from space into your navel center. See it swirling, moving in that space, transforming as you exhale, sending healing and radiance and integration through the whole body and mind. Continue to gently draw inward on the inhale as though the navel center is a sort of magnet to draw healing, awareness, and perhaps even moons and stars and space. That force builds at the abdomen, and as the body exhales, all of that luminosity from the universe permeates into your navel center and spreads into your own body and mind. There is no right or wrong. Let go of all doing. Simply be in the stillness. Become aware of the breath in the nostrils. Invite an intentional breath in. As you breathe in, see the breath come up the right nostril, through the right hemisphere of the brain, down the whole right side of the body. And as you breathe out, awareness travels up the right side of the body, through the right hemisphere of the brain and out. And then on the left side, breathe in through the whole left side, down to the left foot. Back up on the exhale, simple awareness, just with your mind. Now see the breath go through both nostrils, travel all the way down, stretch into your toes. And as you exhale, relax the legs, see the breath move up and out. One more time, breathe in both nostrils, sense the breath travel toward both hands, both feet, illuminating the body. And exhale, release. Starting to move and transition, eventually, as you're ready, rolling on to your right side. Eyes stay closed. Resting on your side, take a moment to simply reflect on the practice, how you feel in this moment, eyes closed, trusting the process of integration and assimilation as it is for you right now. Take a moment to honor yourself for showing up, for this time and space to devote to your body and your mind, and know that as you tend to your own growth, your own integration, you support integration and growth for all. And sense our little collective here that is joined today, people from all over the country, all the way from the East Coast to Alaska, little hub in between. Right, and you can make your way up, or you can stay resting. If you're compelled to flip back over and go onto your back, you can do that. You can come upright. We'll close our time together. You can place the hands over the belly or the hands over the heart, or the palms can come together, or let the hands rest wherever they want to rest. Taking one more of our integrating breaths, sensing breath travel down to your root, to the pelvis, and back up. Wishing you all well. Stay healthy in mind and body. And if you have any questions, feel free to chat or send me an email, whatever carrier pigeon you got. I hope you all have a great night and a great weekend. Thanks for being here. You're welcome, Regina. What a treat. Oh, thank you, Lori.